Shout out to every Grammy nominee out there. A special shout out to Grammy nominees from Motherland Africa and correct South shout to my Nigerian brothers and sisters who were nominated. It's a win, trust me. There were countless of submissions from all over the place. Your records, your art were selected, and that's a win in my books. And we just set another record right now. I mean, we have the Afrobeat genre having its own first ever performance at the Grammys. It's interesting to see, and it's a time worthy to be alive. There were countless of times where nominations for Nigerian Africans were just to fill in gaps, but now we're actually winning, and it goes to show the amount of work we've put in. So that aside, there are some other things we need to clear. We need to be able to win and celebrate the wins we've gotten. One of which is the first time nominee, that's Tyler, and she went on to win the award. It's huge. It's very, very huge. So speak for a fact, it's one of those uncommon things you see in the world, and despite the fact that there's a whole lot of downplaying going on, we still see the African continent getting things out there. So I'm gonna digress a bit. So this brings me to Nigeria as a nation. One of our biggest exports so far as music, art, movies, tech, and sport sitting in those sectors. And one would assume stakeholders in the policy level would be in places like this, because not just for political score point, for strategic point of view, where you show some form of patriotism and then you can tap into new connections, possibilities into the space. We're into the semi-finals at the African Cup of Nations. The level of dedication you'd expect from maybe the Ministry of Sport, the Ministry of Youth and Development and Sport, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism and Arts, we're not seeing it. The same thing with the Grammys. You have more than 4 artists, maybe 5, nominated in not just one category, different categories in the Grammys, and you do not have a rep or something to go there. These are the places you show. This is how you build the nation into giving people the perception that yes, some people are actually putting in work and they are seeing it. The same thing with the National Orientation Agency. These are the things you could use to preach that there's continuity and there's space. They want to enable you guys to do things. This is how you do things. Sometimes it's not just all PR going on TV stations speaking one English that is not. Some of these little things are there. I mean, the support most of these talents get aren't always there. But when it's time to do these things, they own up to it. They always carrying a flag high, and they don't hesitate to show it. So what you could do in this space is to tap in and show how you could support, and of course orchestrate a story to show how the Nigerian dream could be achieved for persons for prospects. So this is how you do things. But either ways, the boys will continue grinding. They will continue to break barriers. Africa as a continent will continually set standard, set records, break them, and continue to entertain, inform, and do other things in also all other sectors. It's a starting point. I've also seen where a lot of people are throwing banters about Fela Kuti's music being played in the background while Tyler was getting the award. Look, it's a teamed event. There were some other categories that were pure rap, and they were playing all sort of class. It's a teamed event. It's key. So, and which also brings me to, we need to create our own awards. I mean, there used to be Channel O awards. What happened to Channel O? Channel O awards was, people looked forward to it. South Africa, we have Eddies in Nigeria, and the thing is, we need to cross collaborate, recognize, and we're seeing a whole lot of that. And if we do more of that, trust me, there will be a lot. If you don't call you to the table, you create your own table, and that is what I see the African continent doing to make things different. They don't call you to the table. Create your own table. Create it yourself. Curate it and call yourself to the table. This is the way forward. It's not a debatable option. This is the way.